Hey guys, what's going on? I just wanted to make a quick follow-up video to the last video, so hopefully this won't be too long, but I have a story for you which ties into this. I used to cocktail waitress at this place, and it was a very prestigious place. A lot of people with money would come in a lot. And I'm working the day shift, and this guy comes in, he's like, looking kind of somber, and I go up to him and I take his order, and he just starts talking. I was like, oh, what do you do? He's like, oh, I work for the pharmaceutical industry. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Mind you, this time, didn't know I have the shit that I know now. I was like, oh yeah, pharmaceutical industry. Wow, you must feel great by like helping people and saving lives and making medicines that cure people. So, I mean, I was there, I was brainwashed, I was like, oh, he's like, yeah. And he starts like crying. Like, I swear to God, he's like crying. And I was like, I'll get your order, I'll be back. And then he comes back, I come back and we just start talking again. I swear to God, with every drink, he was like, I work for a dirty company, it's really bad. And he was just like going, like I swear the more drunk he got, just the more he let loose, the more he was just like, he was like, all you need, all you really need is water. That's all you need. Just you don't need all this medicine, all these drugs. You don't need it. And at the time I was just like, wow, that guy was really drunk. Like, I always remembered it because it was a very odd interaction to see this grown man in tears, and I didn't know why. And I was just thinking maybe he had some other stuff going on, but he didn't know how to, I think he realized he probably had good intentions. This is what I think now. He probably had good intentions with the job. And now he's kind of in deep, and he's realizing what he's doing, and he feels guilty, and he doesn't really know how to tell people without sounding crazy. And he wasn't really specific, though. He was just saying that he works, like, his job is really evil and that they do bad things and we don't need medicine. I just remember those things he told me. And they try and make us take all these drugs we don't need, and we basically just needed clean water. I was like, okay. At the time I was like, yeah, I guess clean water is good for you. Yeah, like, we need clean water, There's a province in China named, it's spelled Z-H-E, one word, Zhe, and then Jiang, J-I-A-N-G, Zhejiang, which is not too far from Hong Kong. It's a coastal city. And they have a population of 57 million people. And they have a 99.9% measles vaccine. So there's no opt-outs, no exemptions. You don't want a vaccine? Too bad. You're getting it if you don't want it, all right? Everybody there is vaccinated. I think that they allow for the 0.1% because they're allowing for other people that, pass through it, that live there. But the residents there, the people that are born there, everybody's vaccinated. One study was done of them, and it was like, I don't remember the years. It was a few years. It was like 2009 to 2015. I'll put this study in the notes. They had, at that time, just with that one study, they had over 700 measles outbreaks in a fully vaccinated population, y'all, okay? Japan, they don't, and I'm telling you this because they're not going to tell you this on the news, okay? Japan withdrew the MMR vaccine when they found out that it was causing, a lot of people were complaining of autism and brain damage. Go figure. And, I guess their government actually cares about them more than, our government cares about us, but they withdrew the MMR, and the MMR is the measles, mumps, and rubella, and Merck has a patent on that vaccine. So different pharmaceutical industries can still make single measles vaccines, and Japan still gives they give the single measles vaccine, and their rates in autism and brain damages and side effects from the MMR vaccine had dropped once they started doing that. And it's also recommended. It's not mandatory. Okay, so, and I think they actually pretty much run on a recommended schedule, or not a mandatory schedule. So I mean, like, if you don't want to, if you want to go to school and you don't want to vaccinate your kid, like, there are no laws that are going to make you like vaccinate your kid. I'm not sure. I know that fact about the measles vaccine. I don't know about the schedule, if it's mandatory, recommended. Could somebody please educate me on that? Um, I would like to know, because actually haven't been looking as hard as I could, but on that specific, on the specifics of like the schedule, and if it's mandatory across the board, or there are just certain vaccines that are recommended or certain that are mandatory. If there's anybody that lives in Japan and they know the rules about that, please send me information on that, because I'm really trying to know. But I know that that's what happened with Merck, unless they reinstated the MMR. I don't know. This is just what I found like a few years ago. Okay. And then, yeah, I mean, so, and they don't have measles outbreak problems, you know? So what the pharmaceutical industry does too is they use natural substances all the time. They use herbs and flowers and berries and stuff to make their drugs. What they do is they take they isolate the, what do they call it? They isolate the main part of whatever, cures or works with the disease, and they amplify that, and then they take that part and leave the other part, and then it creates an imbalance, right? And this is why the magnification or amplification of the part that makes things stronger actually causes more side effects. And then a lot of that, what they do, they mix it with petrochemicals and then they patent it. So there's also this whole economic war going on, because they don't want people to understand how powerful natural remedies are. They try and make it seem like they're stupid and they're worthless and they're meaningless, but at the same time they're trying to outlaw homeopathy, which hasn't killed anybody. But then you look at iatrogenesis, which is medically induced death, which is the third leading cause of death. That's right, the third leading cause of death. Thanks to the pharmaceutical industry, yet homeopathy and herbs have never killed people in mass, like pharmaceutical industry does, right? And they don't cure anything, they just manage symptoms. So keep those in mind. So you guys are gonna have to do some digging. Hopefully I gave you some stuff that you can start. But like I said, the more powerful you are, the more knowledge you have, or the more knowledge you have, the more powerful you are, and people won't be able to persuade you via fear. So that's it, y'all. All right, talk to you later. Peace, truth, love. Bye-bye. Mwah.